On September 1, 2021, JLN Company, a Philippine-based company, ordered 1,000 units of inventory from US corporation. So ang kailangan mo lang class na i-consider ay yung FCU. Una, yan, FCU. Okay? So the foreign currency unit. Then, aside from the FCU, you have to consider the important dates. Yung September 1, 2021 ay commitment date. So hindi pa ito importante. Bakit po hindi importante? Kasi pwede po siyang mag-back out. Diba? Nag-order pa lang eh. Wala pa pong shipment. So ang titignan nyo ay kailan na ship. Sabi sa problem, the inventory was shipped and invoiced to JLN firm on December 1, 2021. So this is now your transaction date. Okay? And December 31 is your balance sheet date. Okay? And February 1, sabi po dito, to be paid on February 1, 2022. So this is now your settlement date. Ang tanong, anong rate ang gagamitin natin? Since ikaw ay umorder, bumibili ka ng goods. Okay? So kung bumibili ka ng goods class, ang rate na gagamitin mo ay hindi po buying spot rate. Okay? Selling spot rate ang gagamitin natin. Okay? But if you are the seller naman, buying spot rate ang gagamitin mo. Okay? Bakit po ganon? O ganito yung concept mga kapatid ha. Pag ikaw ay pumunta sa bangko and the bank is considered as forex dealer, okay? At bibili ka ng dollars, 'di ba, sa bangko, hindi naman yung buying rate ang gagamitin na pamalit, kung hindi yung selling rate. Bakit po ganun? Kasi si bank ang nagbebenta. Okay? Ikaw naman ang bumibili. Ayan. So kung napansin nyo, pag pumasok kayo sa bangko, meron doon selling spot rate, buying spot rate. If you are the buyer, ang rate na may apply pag bibili ka ng dollars ay yung selling rate ng bank. Ganon din po dito. Okay? So ayan po. Ngayon, since na-consider mo na yung important dates, i-disregard mo na yung commitment, yung 40.1. Okay? So, with regard to the exchange rate on the transaction date, 40.30, 40.85, and 40.65 ang gagamitin mo. So, to compute class the balances, the FCU, multiply this by the rate. Ito po yung dalawang importanteng formula sa Forex. Okay? If you're going to compute for the balance, at kung ang tanong, magkano ang accounts payable balance on the balance sheet date, all you have to do is just multiply 25,000 na rate, rather FCU I should say, by the exchange rate on the balance sheet date na 40.85. Kung ang tanong ay magkano ang accounts payable balance on the transaction date, just multiply the rate, 40.30, by the FCU. So ito po yung first formula that you have to consider. Yung second formula class, ay FCU pa rin, foreign currency unit pa rin, multiply this by the change, change in rate. Okay, change in rate. So ngayon, yung change in rate na sinasabi natin, from 40.30 naging 40.85, nag-increase by 0.55. Okay? Tapos 40.85 to 40.65, nag-decrease by 20 or 0.20. So, kapag kaganyan, dyan mo mako-compute class yung forex gain or loss. The change in rate, multiply this by the FCU. So, class, ang labanan po pag forex, ay yung pag-determine ng tamang exchange rate. Kasi dalawang formula lang ang gagamitin natin dito, technically. Ito lang po. Number 1, balance formula. Number 2, forex gain or loss formula. Ganun lang po siya kasimple sa pag-compute. Ang mahirap po ay yung pag-determine ng tamang rate. Kasi maraming rate na ibibigay. So for question number 3, how much is the forex gain or loss on December 31, 2022? So all you have to do is just to deduct 40.85 by 40.30, multiply this by 25,000 US dollar. Yung number 4, outstanding balance na accounts payable, all you have to do is just to multiply 25,000 US dollar by 40.85. Kasi nga balance ng tinatanong. At ito po, okay, ang ating suggested solution dyan. Okay? For number 5, forex gain or loss on February 1. And number 6, pag sinabi pong net forex gain or loss, i-add mo po or i-deduct mo yung na-compute mong gain or loss ng forex sa balance sheet at sa settlement date para maneto. Okay? And this is our suggested answer, okay, for this item. So we have here, okay, on the transaction date, this is the formula that I have mentioned a while ago. The transaction date rate, which is the spot rate, multiply this by the FCU, is equivalent to the value of the item. Okay, monetary or non-monetary. So say for example, we have here 40.30 pesos is to 1 US dollar. Multiply this by 25,000 US dollar. Cancel dollars. Cancel dollars. Ang natitira po ay Philippine peso na 1,007,500. Kaya ito yung entry mo. Debit purchases. Okay. 1,007,500. Credit accounts payable. Yan. Now, on the balance sheet date, change in spot rate, multiply this by the FCU. Sir, anong spot rate ang pinag-uusapan natin dyan? Balance sheet date rate at transaction date rate. Multiply this by the FCU. Sir, ano po yung balance sheet date rate natin? Ito po siya. Okay? 40.85 minus 40.30 per dollar. Okay? So you have here 0.55. Multiply this by 25,000 US dollar. Cancel dollars. Cancel dollars. Natitira po ay Philippine peso 13,750. Sir, nag-increase po yung rate. So nag-increase yung rate. At ang note natin kanina, kapag importing transaction, nagkaka-forex loss kapag nag-i-increase yung rate. At dito po natin pinakita na loss nga. Bakit po? Loss. Kasi ang nagbabago ay accounts payable. So nung nag-increase yung rate from 40.30 naging 40.85, may 13,750 na forex gain or loss. Diba? Para ma-determine mo kung gain man siya or loss, ano ba yung entry? Ang nagbabago ay accounts payable, nag-increase ang accounts payable, so recognize forex loss. Ayan po. Ayan. Kaya sinimulan na natin kanina na kapag nag-i-increase ang rate, kapag importing transaction, okay, or yung exposed liability position, loss ang magiging result. So ang sagot natin class sa number 3 is letter B, number 4 letter C, number 5 letter B. Just take note dyan sa handout ninyo. And number 6 letter D. Okay? But of course, yung entries class, ito po yung ating suggested solution. On the settlement date, change in spot rate, multiply this by the FCU. Anong spot rate ang pinag-uusapan natin? Ito po yun. Okay? The spot rate on the settlement date minus balance sheet date spot rate, which is 40.65 minus 40.85. So nag-decrease, no? Nag-decrease yung rate on the settlement date. So kung nag-decrease yung rate, mababawasan yung accounts payable mo. Kaya magde-debit ka ng accounts payable, diba? Gusto mo bang nababawasan ang liability? Yes. So what will be the result? Forex gain. Ang tanong magkano? Apply the formula. Change in rate, multiply this by the FCU. So you have 40.65 minus 40.85, that's point. Okay? 20, multiply this by 25,000 US dollar, cancel dollars, Philippine peso of 5,000. It does not mean, class, na pag nag-negative loss na siya. No. Huwag nyong i-memorize ng ganon, mga kapatid. Okay? Kapag positive or negative, huwag kang malilito. Okay? Ang gawin mo lang, class, isipin mo ano ba ang nagbabago kapag importing transaction. It is accounts payable. So pag nag-increase, loss. Pag nag-decrease, okay, gain. Kaya ito po ang entry natin, forex gain, 5,000. Okay? Loss, 13,750. Pag nineto natin yan, you have 8,750 loss. Okay? Now, with regard to the account payable balance, Ito naman po ang kanyang balance. So, you have 1,007,500 plus 13,750 minus 5,000. Kaya ang accounts payable balance ay 1,016,250, which can be simply computed by multiplying 40.65 na rate by 25,000 na FCU. I-try nyo mga kapatid, no? 40.65 times 25,000 US dollar, yan din po yung 1,016,250. And credit cash, 1,016,250. Again, our answer class ay number 3, letter B, number 4, letter C, number 5, letter B, number 6, letter D. Ito po yun. Okay. Now, let's proceed to exporting transaction. Kabaliktaran naman po ng importing, at ang tawag naman din natin dito ay exposed asset position. Bakit po exposed asset yung position? Because on the transaction date, ang naka-expose sa change in rate ay yung accounts receivable. So ito yung initial entry natin. Debit AR, accounts receivable, credit sales. Okay? Pag nag-i-increase yung rate, yan, nadadagdagan yung receivable. Okay? So matutuwa tayo, may forex gain ka. Okay? Pag nagdi-decrease yung rate sa exporting transaction, ayaw mo yan. Nagkakalos ka dahil nababawasan yung receivable mo. Yan po, no? So again, the formula is change in rate, multiply this by the FCU. And on the settlement date, okay, since receivable yan, debit ang normal balance, mag-collect ka na. Okay? So credit mo na yung AR, ito po yun. Debit ka na ng cash kung magkano po yung value ng foreign currency unit, at kung meron pa pong decrease in AR, nagkakalos ka pa. Yan po, decrease. Pero pag nag-increase ang ating rate, matutuwa ka kasi accounts receivable ang pinag-uusapan. It's an asset. So debit ka ng cash, okay? Credit ka ng AR kasi nga nag-collect ka na, and recognize further the gain. Okay? So let us illustrate the exposed asset position without hedging sa problem letter C. Sa handout niyo class, okay? Nandyan naman po, no, yung problem letter C, November 1, 2021, BMK Company, a Philippine-based company, receive an order. So siya po ang nakatanggap ng order. Okay, so ibig sabihin siya nagbebenta. Okay? Ng 1,500 units of inventory from HK Company, a US-based company, for $50,000. So this is now your FCU. Okay? So kung receivable balance ang tinatanong, all you have to do is just to multiply this by the spot rate. Diba? This is now your balance. Ang tanong, okay, anong rate ang gagamitin natin? This time, you are the seller of goods. Okay? So kung ikaw ang seller, ang rate na gagamitin mo ay buying spot rate, hindi po selling spot rate. Bakit po ganun? Kasi kung ikaw ang seller, ang ibabayad sa'yo ay dollars. Okay? Or foreign currency. Aanhin mo naman yan sa Pilipinas, hindi yan legal tender. So ang gagawin mo, pag nakuha mo na yung pera na foreign currency, yung dollars, pupunta ka sa bangko. Okay? Sabi mo kay bank, oy bank, ipapalit ko nga, ibebenta ko nga sa'yo itong dollars na binayad sa akin. Ay ganun, o sige. Ang pamalit niyan, ito yung buying rate ko. Ibig sabihin, ang masusunod ay yung rate ng bangko. Ano ang, kumbaga, status ng bank sa transaction na yan? The bank in that particular transaction is the buyer. Kaya yung rate na i-apply is the buying rate. Hindi po siya yung seller. Okay? So, ganun din po sa exposed asset position, ang rate na kailangan natin is buying rate. Okay? And you also have to consider the important dates. Okay? Ano ba yung November 1? Nag-order pa lang. Okay? Wala pa pong dineliver. Kailan na-ship yung goods? On December 1. Okay? So again, this is a commitment date which is not important unless it is firm or it is considered as non-cancelable. So transaction, December 1, balance sheet, December 31, settlement, March 2, 2022. So ito po ang mga importanteng rate. So from 40.40, naging 40.60, nag-increase. Tapos sa settlement, nag-decrease. Oh, ano ang note natin kanina? Since receivable ang magbabago, pag nag-i-increase sa December 31, we have to expect a forex gain. Sa March 2, 2022, since nag-decrease, we have to expect a forex loss. Paano i-compute ang gain or loss? Change in rate, multiply this by FCU. Shortcut po natin yan. Quick notes natin yan. Change in rate also sa settlement date from 40.60 naging 40.40 times FCU. Okay? Question number 7. How much is the forex gain or loss on December 31? So 40 naging 40.6. So 0.6 times 50,000, that is 30,000. Okay? That's 30,000 gain. So letter C dapat ang sagot natin dyan. For number 8, how much is the outstanding accounts receivable? Since balance ang pinag-uusapan, okay, AR balance, kailan po ba yan? December 31. So all you have to do is just to multiply 40.60 by 50,000. So 40.60 times 50,000, so that is equivalent to roughly of 2 million. Okay, 2 million 30,000. Diba? 2 million 30. So ito po, no, letter A ang isasagot natin dyan. Okay? For number 9, how much is the forex gain or loss on March 2, 2022? So from 40.60, naging 40.40. So the change in rate ay decrease. Decrease by 0.2. Okay, 0.2. Then multiply this by FCU. And the FCU is 50,000. So 50,000 times 0.2 is equivalent to 10,000. Matutuwa ka ba na nag-decrease ang rate? Hindi po. Kasi receivable ang nagbabago. So, loss ang isasagot natin. Letter B ang sagot natin dyan. Pero kapag net forex gain or loss ang tinatanong, since may loss ka na 10 at may gain ka kanina na 30, letter C ang isasagot mo, 20,000 net forex gain. At ito po ang ating suggested solution and answer dito sa item number 7, 8, 9, and 10. Letter C, letter A, letter B, and letter C. Okay? So on the transaction date, we have TD rate times FCU. So ito po yun, no? 40 pesos is to 1 US dollar. Okay? Naka-direct quote po tayo. Okay? Direct quote kasi foreign currency unit po ang denominator. Multiply this by 50,000, so you have 2 million. Ito po ang balance ng AR, credit sales on the transaction date. Pagdating ng balance sheet date, change in spot rate times FCU. So ito po yun, no? Balance sheet date, rate, which is 40.60 minus transaction date rate, which is 40. So you have 0.6 times 50,000. Ito yung sagot natin kanina na 30,000 gain. Paano mo i-entryhan? Then recognize the gain. Okay? Kindly change this to 30,000 plus, no? This is 30,000. Okay? 30,000. And debit tayo ng accounts receivable, 30,000. So pag balance na ng AR ang tinatanong, yung sagot natin kanina na shortcut natin na 2,030,000, ito rin siya. 2 million na AR plus 30 na debit AR. That's 2,030,000. Pero ang shortcut natin, class, ito na lang, class, no? Rate, 40.6. Multiply this by FCU na 50. That is still 2,030,000. Okay. Pagdating sa settlement date, on February 1, 2022, ganun pa rin ang formula, mga kapatid. Change in spot rate, multiply this by FCU, at yung spot rate natin, class, ay 40.40 minus 40.60, nag-decrease by 0.2. Multiply this by 50,000, so you have 10,000 loss. Okay? And our entry, class, ito po yon. Debit forex loss, 10,000. Credit accounts receivable, ayan po, no? Credit mo yung AR, nabawasan receivable mo, nagkakalos ka ngayon. And, of course, to settle, ang balance na lang ng AR mo from 2 million, naging 2,030,000, nabawasan ng 10, 2,020,000 na lang, kaya ang debit cash mo is 2,020,000. And shortcut natin dyan mga kapatid, rate 40.40, multiply this by FCU na 50,000. Okay? So that is for problem letter C. That in all persons and things, God may be glorified. Okay? And lagi kong nire-recognize, no, itong ating verse sa Bible, Mark 11:24. Therefore I tell you, okay, whatever you ask for through prayers, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Okay? When I took the board examination, bar examination, dapat, no, maniwala muna ako na magiging CPA ako, magiging lawyer ako. Okay? And of course, i-claim mo. Yan. So yun ang ginawa po natin. Okay? Nagdasal po tayo, and of course with action. And ito po, to give back sa kay Lord, okay, sa blessings nito, and I am now conducting itong humble initiative natin na free webinar or lecture to extend assistance, knowledge or help sa mga aspiring BSA students and CPA reviewees in order for you to achieve your objectives or goal of becoming a CPA. So yun po, no, ang ating initiative, kaya meron po tayong lecture series na ganito. Okay? So aside from this, nakita nyo class, we have a FAR Quick Notes 2023 edition. Lumabas siya noong September 23, 2022. Okay? At sa inyo na nag-attend ng ating webinar, okay, lecture series dito sa ating Forex transaction na lecture, at nag-register. No? I have the list of registrants. Okay? 450 plus po yung nag-register. Thank you for registering. And of course, to give back, no? If you are interested sa ating textbook to learn more, okay, on FAR Quick Notes from partnership hanggang cost accounting, build, operate, transfer, insurance, okay, ay magbibigay po tayo ng discount, okay, sa mga nag-register ngayon at nag-attend. Ito po yung ating promo code. Okay, I would just like to emphasize, okay, na meron po tayong 50 peso discount doon sa ating textbook. Okay, just register doon sa link na i-email ko sa inyo mga kapatid. Ayan. Okay, doon sa registered email ninyo, and input nyo lang po itong promo code so that I can give you a discount. Sa mga conditional examinee ng LECPA, of course, isang subject na lang naman po ito, AFAR, okay? I am extending a discount amounting to 100 pesos dito sa libro natin. Okay? Of course, you have to present na lang class yung proof, okay? And tiyaga lang, okay? Magiging CPA din po tayo. Yan. So again, thank you for attending our lecture series. Okay? This is part 1 of our Forex transaction and translation lecture series. Okay? Watch out at abangan na lang po yung second schedule ng webinar natin, at i-discuss natin yung with hedging, at yung pangatlo ay translation. Okay, so thank you and good evening sa inyong lahat.